The prison in the video was newly opened on February 25 this year. El Salvador's terrorism jail, dubbed America's largest, is filled with stars. It is said that the confinement inside is strong enough to contain 10,000 zombies. You may not be able to escape. This is a super prison specially built for cracking down on criminals and removing ears. Total area of 230,000 square meters, can accommodate up to 40,000 prisoners. A giant in the prison world. The main body of the prison is entirely made of reinforced concrete, including 8 prison cells and 1 scenic building, 2 living warehouses and 19 towers, and an 8-meter-high concrete wall, and 3 circles of 5-meter-high electrified barbed wire. The configuration in terms of scenery is extremely exaggerated. 250 early warning troops and 600 special forces will be stationed in the prison for a long time. 2 locations 11 kilometers and 19 kilometers away from the prison. There are 2 more steps to take once the formation is complete. Once there is a prison break or riot, all the agitation troops can rush to the ban and suppress it within 15 minutes. The reason why the government wants to demolish the Jacaniso super prison, the main purpose is to fight against the increasingly rampant evil forces in 42 Wado. Years ago, the 2 major gangs represented by MX-13 and Barry 18 are sweeping the country. After President Buckland took off, declared on the spot in front of international reporters, it is to fight against the evil forces to the end. We spent a lot of money to build this prison. While detaining prisoners, it also deters those gangsters who are at large. In order to reduce the reliability of this group, in February this year, President Buckland, he even went to the prison in person to inspect the ban seals. Entering the prison door, the first thing you see is the jail checkpoint. Here, prisoners must undergo 360-degree corner searches. You even have to go through an X-ray scanner. It is a surprise that there is nothing hidden inside the prisoner's body. Don't let go of the prisoner's personal belongings either. Early warning also requires a full manual search. The warden is the prison registration center. Open a warehouse space here. Alerts to register prisoners' crime type, sentence, and information such as age, gang, etc. Separate prisoners into different categories. It's very important to do this, because if you are not careful, placed a member in the enemy gang cell, this person will be gone soon. In order to control the prisoner's actions, a total of 500 high-definition cameras were captured in the prison. Not only does it have various built-in early warning, there are also dedicated personnel monitoring the entire process 24 hours a day. After visiting the administrative, President Bukele then came to the prison's weapons depot. This warehouse is located in a special corner of the guard building. 2 rows of heavily armed police stood in line. Protect this military-industrial powerhouse. The weapons arsenal is full of equipment. Includes body armor, riot helmet, riot shield, pepper spray, firefighting supply, and various styles of firearms. The warden showed the president. Early warning looks like fully armed. Such a set of steel and iron bone, it can be said that the prisoners are eating with no chance of winning at all. After coming out of the weapons depot, President Bukele drove to the square area of the prison. This mighty row of troops in front of us. There is actually this prison early warning force for prisoners, including 250 police officers, 600 special forces, police car, fire truck, patrol car, and armed helicopters should have. Even 11 kilometers and 19 kilometers away, 2 infantry brigade commanders were also assigned to Station Ning. To show the president the prison's anti-riot capabilities, early warning and on-site deployment of special forces units, entering the prison to conduct drills. Everyone is armed. Armed with a shield and armed with a gun, he burst into the cell to inquire. Group of 4. Suppressing the door of the cell. Just asking for cowardly riots. If you give warning, you will be killed on the spot. Except for the first, on the patrol Hangleon on the second floor. Hexi and live ammunition warning will also strengthen the alert, connected to the internal use of a large, translucent wire mesh, while ensuring safety. It also facilitates early warning to observe the situation in the cell at any time. Then President Bukele came to the warning living area. The inside looks like a military barracks. A large room with standard bunk beds. Pillows, quilts and daily necessities are all included. Toilets and wash basins are also standard equipment. Each early warning officer also has his own reserve of 4 people. The most important thing is, next door to the living room, they will also be warned that we have thoughtfully prepared a pin-bang table. Guarantee early warning and live comfortably at the same time. You can also have enough entertainment and spiritual life. There is a huge contrast with the warning living area. It's the prisoner work area next to the gym. The recommended capacity is 40,000 people. Such a huge number of prisoners. Just raising money and that would be such a waste of labor. The work area is a semi-open space. The type of work involved is very demanding, including driving screws and cutting a plate, assemble furniture, pick up robots, and more. Processed products will be sold to a cooperative 4-person company. All proceeds go to the prison. Prisoners get less than a penny from it. After killing all the prisoners in the workshop, Overseer President Bukele arrive at the main dungeon area of the prison. From the overall picture taken by the drone, there are 8 cell blocks in the entire prison, evenly distributed on both sides of Jingwei building. Each cell block covers an area of 5,400 square, can accommodate more than 5,000. From a height, it looks like a greenhouse with reinforced steel bases. There are 140 rooms inside the symbiosis. Each cell can accommodate 36 prisoners. The room in front of you is made of steel, cement, and concrete. Composed room. It's the El Salvador Terrorist Incarceration Center. Cells used to imprison gangsters. There are 3 3-story, 4-story steel structure elevated beds inside, 2 water storage chambers and a stainless steel hemp bucket. The cell adopts a semi-open design. What the prisoner did inside. All are controlled by cameras and patrol warning implementation. It is worth mentioning that no pillows, backpacks or sheets are provided in the cells. Prisoners can only sleep directly on iron sheets. The roof is also translucent and has a strong design. The patrol warning will be 70% 24-hour nudity with guns above their heads. The main thing is that there is no privacy. There are still 4 interrogation rooms in the corner where the prison cell is. Some pricks who usually like to cause trouble. They will be forcibly brought here for trial and punishment. If the other party still has no regrets, he will also be put in a solitary confinement room for a week. This is a completely enclosed space. No light, pitch black. Treating a concrete bed cloth, a cistern and a toilet. Nothing superfluous. The iron door of the confinement room has 2 openings. One is an observation area used to view prisoners. The other is used to deliver meals to prisoners, and a hands-on operating area. Then some of the president's men walked out of the cell, came to the outdoor equipment area. The entire prison uses independent power supply and network systems. And it's equipped with a strong signal jammer. External mobile phones and other devices have no signal here. The prison also installed a large number of high-wattage lighting fixtures, even in the dark night. Everything is as bright as day. The surrounding high-voltage wire fence covers the entire 3 circles. There is also an 8-meter high concrete wall on the outermost layer. Climbing the wall to make an appointment is such, there is almost no possibility here. The most eye-catching ones at that time were the 1912-meter high Laowang towers. Armed men with live ammunition in their I will take turns working here around the clock. Cooperate with the prison's ultra-advanced monitoring. Once a prisoner is found to make an appointment, they can be killed on the spot without declaring. This center of terrorist conspiracy, since its completion in February this year, received global attention. This seems to be a work of art symbolizing justice. At the same time as Chen Jianfeng, it can also bring huge deterrent effect to gangsters. March 25 this year. This prison also welcomed the first batch of prisoners transferred from other prisons. 2,000 people in total. They were lucky enough to be the first people to eat crabs here. It can't be seen from the video of this vast transfer process. The next days for these prisoners. It's definitely not going to be easy. America's Northern Prison. known as the world's highest security prison. Some netizens commented, even if a group of losers are imprisoned, you may not be able to escape. This prison is the original Baule and the latest technology. The product of perfect combination created $180 million, equivalent to 1.2 billion renminbi. The entire prison is made of reinforced concrete, divided into 4 cell blocks, 2 support buildings and a 5-story. A control tower with God Social. In the control tower, in addition to the early warning that can pass through a 360-degree single-side bulletproof glass, always observe the situation of the driver. Through a complete computer system. Control all devices in the prison. A switch as big as a cell door. Even the size of the toilet water flow can be controlled with one click. The prison has 500 high-definition panoramic cameras, and equipped with infrared night vision function. The resolution has also reached 4K level. It can also achieve timely playback and real-time backup. It can be said that this system exists at the level of the Sky Eye. It is worth mentioning, it's not just surveillance footage that can be backed up. Underground, directly below the control tower, a large-capacity touch storage library has been built, include monitoring record, walkie-talkie call records, and all information on your mobility documentation strategy. Encrypted backups will be performed, known as the black box in prison. The prison was circled twice, surrounded by 20 kilometers of barbed wire. This kind of barbed wire is the latest product developed by the Ministry of Defense. It is covered with prison guides shaped like the accumulation of fragrance in the sky. Looking at the dense arrangement, just thinking about it makes my scalp numb. Besides, between 2 barbed wire fences, the prison is also equipped with advanced motion capture sensors. An ultrasonic reflector. Prevent the entry and exit of suspicious organisms to the greatest extent. This is not enough. Outside the barbed wire fence, the prison also produces all obstacles. The outflow buffer is about 200 meters long from the film. Early warning on GG Tower after 24 hours and a half. Patrol cars will also search from time to time. Whenever a prisoner is found reading the domain, no need to declare, directly arrest and kill. Night is the best tool for reading domain, to prevent prisoners from making a dark escape. The prison has a full circle of lights along the barbed wire fence. The brightness of this kind of light is 6 times that of ordinary street light, and there's one every 50 meters. Even if night falls, the whole prison is still as late as day. There are 4 exits in the prison. Each exit has 3 iron gates. This kind of iron door is reinforced with a multi-layer protective net, strong enough to withstand a car. Fully loaded truck at 60 pulses per hour. It can be said to be a true iron wall. Speaking of cell structure, prison borrows concept from medieval inverted fortress. As the name suggests, the former fortress was to prevent enemies from attacking from the outside in. For example, the first line of defense is, the second line of defense is city walls, etc. This group of prisons did the opposite, to prevent prisoners from attacking from the inside out. The means of defense are reversed compared to the fortress. This theory doesn't sound unusual, but based on this security measures for North Branch operations, revolutionary changes have taken place. First of all, the cell structure serves as the first line of defense. Crucial. Most of the old prison cells in the past were made of bricks. Although the moment is strong. But after all, there are a lot of gaps filled with cement. Let the years go by here. It is very easy to have a situation where strong walls are used as a barrier and people are shown. This also indirectly led to some prisoners will jump into the realm by means of early wall breaking and windows, etc. However, in the operation of the North Branch, this situation does not exist at all. This jumping cell, all are made of reinforced concrete. No gaps or splicing. And indestructible. Radically eliminate prisoners. The idea of leapfrogging to poaching. The cell is in the design. It is divided into 2 parts, shell and built-in. Workers will follow the established dimension. Use steel bars to weave the inner and outer keel frames. Then use the Qizhong. Place the steel bars in 2 injection molds of different sizes. Combined concrete. This concrete has been specially treated. very little moisture and high viscosity, and a chemical reinforcement was added. So that after solidification, reaching more than Sibyl concrete, more than 4 times stronger, and recede over time, its intensity will continue to increase. To test the strength of this concrete, set into individually selected solidification for 5 and 58-day in-process testing of indigenous samples. Results set in 5 days of concrete. Strength reaches 54,000 pounds, equivalent to Turkish tons, and the sample that solidified for 58 days, it reached an astonishing 119,000 pounds, equivalent to 60 tons. In other words, a dozen adult elephants. Put them together, there will be no cracks in the cell. The walls of the cell are so strong, so much so that I want to simply get dirt. All require the use of special diamond drill bit. Only with high-power impact drill can the hollowing out be completed. Asking for homemade rice tools. I just want to dig through the wall. It's just nonsense. After the concrete solidifies, workers use high-pressure water to clean the entire structure to exclude unqualified products with large cracks. The worker will then use paint the wall with a filler similar to drowning powder, to ensure that no analysis can be found. Then I will paint another one. Slow oxygen machine numerical game. On the one hand, it is to distribute the moisture in the concrete. On the other hand, it also increases the number of actions. After painting is complete, workers will use neutralize, nest 2 levels of structure together, assembled into a complete cell. The reason for doing this is very simple, just to be in the inner and outer mezzanine. Bury circuit boards in advance, exhaust pipe, and various testing equipment. Exposing pipes inside a prison is very dangerous. Being discriminated against for asking, I have a lot of time to think about it every day. How to use pipelines to read oracles. Also need to pay attention and internal infrastructure, such as steel magnetic wind, need to use a nail fixed on the wall. The toilets have all been replaced by stainless steel. Fundamentally blocked from asking for food. The idea of smashing Tauzi's homemade weapons. After everything is ready inside the cell, the last step is the door. The cell door of this prison. The degree of balance is the best in the world. If you ask for food, you won't be. It can be said that I stepped directly into the gate of hell. The door is made of 8 stainless steel plates pressed together. About 12 centimeters thick and weighing 160 kilograms. Not only does it take into account the ratio, but it is also first samples before production of each door. All have to pass a 90 kilograms engineering hammer, attacked continuously 200 times. After 200 times of, it's a shame not to leave the house without, indicates that the sample is only then can this batch of characters be allowed to start processing and production, in order to ensure the connection of the, no gaps or weaknesses at all. All metal anklets. All are hidden in the extra points of the concrete wall. Of course I want to open this super iron door. Ordinary door locks and keys are obviously not worthy of it. First, each door is equipped with an air compressor. Using computer and mechanical methods, remotely control the opening and closing of the door. Such a design, not only does it eliminate the risk of people begging for food in snatch and purely mechanical structure, it also further increases its sturdiness. You can listen to it. The sound of this door closing. Is it filled with a sense of technology? There is only a small opening in the cell door. Its purpose is just to wait for the beggar before going out. There are strict rules. I want to open this little dress. There must be an early warning of more than point to the side and point to the area where Kagari extends. Normally, if I have an early warning and want to communicate with someone there are 2 ways. One is to observe through the tempered glass at the door. Talking using a stretch wave reflector. That means talking through a remote intercom at the control tower. Each cell has a built-in intercom system. Early warning can be used to send good strength to people seeking. It can also reverse any sound in the cell 24 hours a day. Coupled with a built-in high-definition camera, it can be said that every move of begging for food cannot escape the warning statement. Of course, the role of monitoring goes far beyond that. Each early warning officer is equipped with a specially designed penetrating sensor. The monitoring system also puts special marks on early warnings. In this way, early warning physical conditions and locking positions will be strictly protected to prevent the occurrence of tight washing incidents. With this security system, daily port inspections and patrol, early warning doesn't even require wearing a gun. Just need to carry handcuffs. Basic equipment with a tight stick can complete the work safely. See here. Have you guys been surprised? But what needs to be added is what you see in the video. It's just the filming of this documentary, one version 1.0 in 2007. Realized to this day, the inscription on this monument is the highest security prison in. It has been nearly 10 years since. Rapid improvement in technological level. It has fallen to the current version 3.0. Not only has there been a qualitative leap in hardware level, and also added big data, biometrics and cutting-edge internet systems. It is no exaggeration to say, let alone a defenseless human being, even if a large group of losers are brought in, no one can escape. This tempered glass prison in the United States. It is recognized as one of the largest prisons in the world. The 3-meter-high floor-to-ceiling windows are not cell door, cell window. Prisoners' common area, even Yujing's command lock and monitoring room. All adopt transparent design. A panoramic view of the prisoner's version of the. Yujing also took a closer look at the prisoner. Surveillances throughout the cell, and the lights are on 24 hours a day. Prisoners eat and sleep. Or take a shower and squat in the pit. It's equivalent to live broadcast. Novice prisoners are still a little shy. And many old drivers have already done laundry as a matter of course. There's no privacy anyway. It's better to just face each other openly. Although the design is large, but the security measures didn't bother anyone at all. High walls, fences, and barbed wire are indispensable. Ward rounds, security checks, armed patrol. Same every day. From time to time, we have to cooperate with conduct in-body searches of blind spots and other parts of the. Fundamentally eliminate the possibility of prisoners hiding as contraband. This tempered glass prison. Orlando, Florida, USA. This is the holy land of gangster, cradle of crime. In the past 30 years, the United States in 2016, the biggest mass shooting happened here. In fact, it's not just Orlando. The crime rate in the entire United States is not among the highest in the world. According to more than 2 million people are in prison in the United States on a daily. That is to say, for every 115 members, one of them is a prisoner. Or was a prisoner. This number is amazing, because of the huge number of criminals. Make prison feel stressful. Most prisoners are imprisoned in batches. Some groups of 3 or 5 guys, some even moved in with the entire gang. Lively and lively. But it's a mixed bag and overcrowded inside. Gang wars and fights happen in the show. What's even more frightening, because most of the prisoners are men. So the soap incident is even more inevitable. This flower is not offered by air. According to different calculations by the more than 4% of prisoners each year. That is, more than 80,000 people have experienced soap incidents. It seems that in this free country, the air is filled with more than just free bullets. Still filled with the soap of freedom. Early in the starting point is the early warning shift. Supreme Commander Shakma is driving to the prison. Although he is a female warning, but when it comes to managing prisoners, he has more than 20 years of experience. As big as a gang leader, as small as a fat thief. It's all geography in front of him. Known as the eternal dream words in the hearts of prisoners. Change your post. Shakima has arrived at the gate of the prison. He is about to. This prison is like a bank lobby. The prisoner wants to go to jail for. You need to fill out a jail application form and queue up to get your number. Waiting in the lobby for your number to be called. When it's your turn, go to designated counter in one step. No jail time for taking photos and registering. These 4 layers of realistic scene. Is it like we go to the bank to handle business? Or go to the Traffic Control Bureau to pay the fine? If you happen to pass by here, then you should be extra careful, because the person sitting next to you, he's probably the gangster who's about to go to jail. Or a serial murderer who was just sentenced. This jail sentence process seems very strange, but it's actually a helpless situation, because there are too many prisoners. America's high crime rate. Let this group of prisons receive 150 to 200 new prisoners every day. In order to improve work efficiency, let every prisoner enjoy an efficient and convenient prison experience. Prisons don't hesitate to pay huge sums. Incorporated this office hall. Certain, being efficient doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. There are more than 100 people with guns and ammunition around the hall. If you want to take the opportunity to escape or cause chaos, warning will unceremoniously ask him to take a bullet. After completing the jail procedure, the prisoners need to hand over all the belongings of the four-person prison club diva tags. Packed and classified, they are stored in an orderly manner in a ledger of more than 100 square meters. Centralized store, convenient for prisoners to take with them when they are released from prison. It is worth realizing, accounting of all personal items, prisons will take photos and videos. Because some prisoners do not follow martial ethics. After he is released from prison, he will file a false accusation with the court to warn him, meet such a rotten person. Photos and videos are the only evidence. Then came the process of Lulu's fingerprints and physical examination. Every novice prisoner must watch the prison film once and signed his name on the prison sentence. Although this is already very popular, but there are still many prisoners who don't buy it. For example, this prisoner named Trimp. Shijin was controlled because of his malicious intentions. 5 early warnings put him on the martial arts, then it's all vulgar. In the end, he was put in a closed room, facing the wall and thinking about his mistakes. It is worth realizing, the entire riot prevention, there will be an early warning officer who will record the videos, prevent prisoners from not practicing martial arts ethics at unscripted prison. To manage prisoners more effectively, this group of prisons also uses a 4-leaf clover entry structure. As the name suggests, the cross-section of each floor is like a 4-leaf clover. Surrounded by 4 prison areas, there is a public area and 2 cells inside. In the middle is the early warning control. From here you can control the switches of all doors, and retrieval of surveillance video. There are cameras all over the 100th floor of the prison. It also has functions such as motion capture and safety reminders. Even the zero-language sword and the toilet are fully covered. Plus internal 24-hour non-tin light. It can be said that every little move made by the prisoner will be watched closely. This is not enough. The best thing about this prison is its steel-cut glass. Whether it's a prisoner's cell or a common area, both the early warning control room and the early warning control room adopt a steel-cut glass. On the one hand, it is to better monitor prisoners. On the other hand, it is to prevent the soap incident from happening. After all, even if the prisoner has another idea, I don't dare to broadcast live in front of so many people. Each cell block is equipped with a broadcast and monitoring system. This set of equipment can ensure early warning, remote management without contact with prisoners. Maximize the security of early warning. Of course, no matter how good the defensive measures are, they are not After all, if you are taller, the devil will be tall. Some smart prisoners will try their best to escape. For example, these 2 guys under surveillance. It looks like he's on the phone, but he actually has ulterior motives. They first asked their accomplices in the cell to pretend to fight, attract early warning to open the door then take the opportunity to rush into the checkpoint. A power and forewarning fight. Another tried to open all the cell doors. Although they will eventually forewarn the uniform, but this accident also taught warnings a lesson. Since then, the prison has strengthened all security measures, even requiring early warning to check the cells every day. This measure is very important, because prisoners have nothing to do every day. I will try my best to DIY all kinds of prohibited items. For example, they would cut off the handle of the broom, eliminate sharp edges, or put the door lock into a sock. Make your own meteor hammer. Some drunkards even mix oranges, bread, and sugar. Pour into the pastry bottle and let it ferment to make homemade alcohol. Shajima received a tip in prison. Someone hid a mobile phone in the prison area. For this reason, Shajima sent 10 early warning conduct a 360-degree search with no blind spots, including bed, cabinet, table, toilet. Even the suspended ceiling is not spared. In addition, the early warning also asked all prisoners to line up in the toilet for they need to take off all their clothes. And stood up coughing loudly. Prove that you have not concealed prohibited items in the blind city or other places. This is not the serpent god. A prisoner once hid a Nokia in the blind city. The forewarning officer realizes that he has knowledge to rely. I took him to send X-ray photos and found this banned item. After a rummaging search. Although the early warning does not reach them, but there was an unexpected gain. A system composed of telephone parts and hygiene. A simple version of the cutter. Prisoners have such high skills. The old saying is printed in the array, 360 lines will lead to the first prize. To prevent the influx of prohibited, the prison even replaced family visits with video chats. Families need to make reservations in advance to avoid only then can you meet your family as you wish through video chat. The cold screen separates loved ones on both sides. But no way. In the face of law and absolute safety, any feelings have to be put aside. So friends in front of the screen, we must cherish the good life now. Be a good citizen who respects craft. Okay, I like this video. Please like, follow, and comment. Nyo's special skills will help you see the bigger world. See you next time. Bye.